Well, good afternoon, everybody. Welcome back to VP4 TV. I hope you can hear me loud and clear. Just give me an eye if you can. Welcome to Bill. Welcome to Dwight. I didn't see anybody else come in. Might have missed them. Well, we're here for another match, a round 5 match, race to 19. And basically this is a race to the hot seat. We've got the match tonight, or this afternoon, between OnePocketSlim from the USA and SemiPro from England, stroke the United Kingdom. And the winner of this match will go through to play the winner of the match between Larry from the USA and Cobra from England, stroke the United Kingdom. So you've got two well-matched matches, if that's the way to describe it. But OnePocketSlim is the one player now who has to then move to that next level. SemiPro has been there, he's been to finals. Slim's the one that's yet to produce. He's got all the capabilities of doing it. He might have to use that one pocket skill here or there in this match tonight to try and wrestle with SemiPro. It's hard to call. It is definitely hard to call. I'm going to sit in the fence just like Bill because I haven't a clue how it's going to go. But various things will affect it. We all know what that is, the usual. Welcome to Cobra. We've got 5 minutes to go. I've tried to get a hold of Stubborn Facebook Bill. He's not been on Facebook all afternoon. I've had no reply and I haven't seen him around the lobby, so he's obviously still at church. So we'll keep an eye out for him. 1915 to SemiPro. Well, I couldn't argue that. I could argue 1915 the other way. It's that type of match. We just don't know what SemiPro is going to turn up. The toys could be out the pram fairly early. Slim could be really hot. It could be the other way around. Nobody's got a clue. But it's going to be interesting to watch. Now, I'm making an assumption here that Steve is going to want to watch this match. Last night, Alvinario got through fairly comfortably in the end. I think it was 13 racks to 6. It wasn't like that though. Midway through the match, I think it was it not 6 all or something like that. And then Alvinario managed to pull away in the end. So, Bankster still did well getting this far in the tournament, but it's now really up to the big boys going for this now. All the ones that are making up the numbers are going to fall with the wayside, and it's the experienced long-term players. And I also include Nick in that, although he hasn't been around VP4, but we've seen enough evidence from him to know that he's a danger and should not be overlooked. And we'll get those matches to come as well. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just give a quick reminder. So this match tonight, there might be another match tonight. We're not sure yet. That depends whether Stubb turns up, whether he agrees to get this done ASAP, and if that's the case, Slim should be around later on today. He's off tomorrow as well, and if it's an hour of the night, which is US time, where I'll be in bed, Slim says he'll stream the match so he gets it recorded and archived. Well, at least it'll be on Twitch for a few days. And then, of course, the other match is on Tuesday, the other round 5 match, and that's Larry and Cobra, and I'll be there for that. 6:30 British summertime now, and I finish on Tuesday, so I've got no problem. I will be there for that one. Right, quick tab out to have a quick look. Right, well, we're cutting it fine. There's like a minute and a half to go. No sign of Steve in Discord. He could be out golfing today again on a Sunday. I don't know. I haven't a clue. But we will get ready. Welcome to Chimpy. So far we've had 1917 called by Bill, but he hasn't put a name to it because he can't really pick a winner. Cobra's sort of stuck his neck in the line, and Chimpy's gone 1916 to Slim. Now again, I could well believe that as well. It could go either way. But let's just hope that we don't have a tragedy and a heartbreak like we had last night with a match with Bill and Spectre Dawn. Bill battled and hung in there and took it all the way. And as far as Bill was concerned, he was out the tournament, and we all agreed that. And then, of course, Spectre Dawn didn't have much room to get on that 3 ball and just skimmed the 8 ball, which none of us saw at the time when it happened. It was too quick. I watched it earlier on today, and you can see it clearly hits the 8 ball. And then, of course, that was a disaster for Spectre Dawn. And Bill went in and pinched it in the end. He pickpocketed Spectre Dawn, so he did. Well, we want the drama and the excitement. That's what I want to see now. There's one in the room now. One more tab out, and then we'll get in. Right, no sign of him. So if he's going to appear, he will show up in the room, and then I'll know he's in Discord. And I'm just going to stay in the game from here on in. Let's get in. We're probably lagging off now. Well, I can't get in the room. There we go. And in fact, that's why, because the lag has taken place. Slim has won the lag. So off we go. And Slim has what, 3 in the break? Yep, the 2, 3 and 4 have gone. And let me just, have I got my mouse too high? Hang on a minute, I think I have. Oh, I don't know whether he can get enough of that one. I don't think he can. I think he's overcutting it to the short rail. Yeah, he can't get enough of it. Of course, the other excuse Steve will have is that his clocks are mucked up and he doesn't know the time, because he had no confidence in whether the tournament bracket clock time would work when the clocks went forward last night. Steve will turn up in an hour's time. So welcome everybody. Not that there's that many. It says there's only 4 on YouTube, and that's the problem with a Sunday. Everybody's at their dinner at this time over here. Oh, is it raining? Oh well, if he's a fair weather golfer, he won't be out. Welcome to Larry. So the push has been passed back to Slim. Now, I think he's, has he got the cover, or has that found the gap? I think he's, well, it's going to be a jump to get this, and it's not difficult. Problem is, I don't know whether he's going to run into the 7 or run into the 5 or miss the 2 of them. He's running into the 5, he'll take that though. So straight away SemiPro can pinch the break here. Slim having won the lag. Well, this is the tough one. He's got to get into this. He's got to get into it the right way though, because there's a lot of acreage to travel with this cue ball. He might go forward. Yeah, it needs to run. That'll do. So he's going to play the 9 into this corner here. I don't think I'm much doubt of that. I would be surprised if he tried anything else fancy. So the choice of the push out was given back to Slim, and he didn't get proper cover with the safety, and it's 1-0 to SemiPro. Larry goes 19-12. Oh, and the break is working for SemiPro also, apart from the fact the cue balls get in. So straight away, Slim has got ball in hand, and he'll just kill the cue ball and leave the cut in that 3. Let's have a quick look and see how it is in the rail. He's fine, and he can get up for that 4. Oh, wait a minute, hang on, what's he done here? He's okay, he can get to it. I thought he'd gone too close. So, the other obvious problem is the 5 ball is too tight to try and get really good on that. That is way too tight. But then when you get down here like that, it doesn't look that tight. Now he's arrived in the room, so I'm going to tab out in a minute once this rack's over. Well, he's got to get good on it, I said. And, well, he would have liked to have been dead straight, but that's maybe, too much to ask. But he's, he catches any of that 7, he ain't going in. Well, catches any of the 7 and it does go in. What do I know? I thought that would send it to the bottom rail there, or the short rail anyway. But he'll take it. And he'll just drop behind the 9, play it back down into this corner pocket, and then a quick tab out. Right, we'll give him that, he's not missing that. Late to the party again.
Yeah, I am. That's sorry.
One of
these people saying semi-pro. I see Chimpy saying slim.
Yeah.
What are you thinking?
Well, I'm like Bill. Bill posted 1917, and I said, yeah, but who to? And he said exactly, and I said, I agree with you. I haven't a clue. So the two, me and Bill, are sitting on the fence.
Yeah, well, I think it could be a close match. I think SemiPro should have a pretty good advantage, but, that depends on what SemiPro does. I think for Slim, he needs to not be super aggressive. He needs to move when, he's not sure. I mean, there's no doubt that SemiPro runs out better than Slim does.
Well, what I've said is I've said Slim needs to bring his one pocket skills and experience into this game. He might have to call on them, strategy-wise occasionally and stuff like that.
Yeah, moving game. He needs to not shoot at balls that are, not sure about kind of shots. If he has a safety play and he's got a shot, and remember I was talking about the 50-50 thing yesterday. Well, today for SemiPro, if he's around 50-50, he should play safe, not shoot the shot. Normally I would recommend shooting the shot, but he can't afford to miss shots against SemiPro if he's going to win this match. I think SemiPro, his challenge is to make better decisions, because he should be winning these World Championships a lot. the way he plays. I mean, I don't know if any of you guys have tried those drills, but those drills are really hard, and he's done them all. And I'm not sure anybody else has done them all. I'm not sure if anybody has really worked at them that hard, but I mean, they are not easy. So he's got the execution skills. Oh, that's a nice shot there.
Yeah.
I think the question for him is the decision making process, and that really comes down to learning how to win. I really think he needs to learn how to win, and a lot of that has to do with decision making, because he can run out, I think, better than anybody.
Mm.
So we'll see what he ends up doing here. I mean, there's also always the the mental part of making mistakes where you miss balls you shouldn't stuff, and I mean, we've seen Semi go goofy and do that, but we've seen Slim do that too. But it still comes down to who's going to control the table. But these two will give up control different ways. I think with SemiPro, it's bad decisions, not necessarily bad patterns. I mean, his patterns are good. It's just bad decisions, especially in the moving game.
Yeah, well, as Cobra said, he's got to keep the head as well when maybe things aren't going too well. They might go well all night. You never know, but he's got to keep his mind on the game rather than keeping his mind on what he's done wrong.
Yeah,
you have to go over it quickly.
You got to have a short memory, or what happens is you start distracting yourself. I used to be an expert in that, and I still fall in that trap sometimes. But I think another part of it is when your opponent's breaking and getting easy tables and running out, and every time you break, you get a table that's, even if you make a ball, the table's difficult, and the rolls aren't going your way. It's real easy to get a crappy attitude. And, you've just got to ignore all that stuff and realize that, things aren't going to stay that way, that you'll get some better tables, and just not let that kind of stuff bother you.
That's not great.
No, that's not good enough. I mean,
well, that's
with jump cues, you need to get better.
Yeah, Cobra's made a point. I mean, SemiPro needs to not worry about what we are saying about him. He needs to be worrying about what's happening in the game rather than paying attention to any live stream. And you'll know as soon as he sticks his head in the door in here, he's in trouble.
He should not be, watching the stream. He needs to stay away from distractions. He just needs to focus on what he's doing, and make good decisions.
Well,
I mean, I got on him about the decision thing, and he'll sit there and argue about it, but he does listen. He went and worked on pushing out in other parts of the game. He went on YouTube and looked for videos on it. So one thing about SemiPro is, he's gonna get better because he works at it. He tries to go figure out, well, what should I do in these situations? And he goes to the right places, like, go watch the pros play. That's the best place you can learn. So, I think he's going to get better. Do I expect it to be like perfect today? No, because nobody's going to just, go from, okay, I'm mediocre in these parts of my game. Do I play like an expert in those parts? But I think he could be better. Well, but honestly, I think he should win this match like 19-10, 19-12. I mean, if he makes good decisions and keeps his head in it.
Well, Jimpy, I've already gave Steve a reminder last night. I asked him to write it down. I checked the bracket for Friday, and it still hasn't been changed for Friday Night 9-ball. But in Steve's defence, it's not worth his while changing all the tournaments, simply because to change all the tournaments for tournaments where there's maybe only 2 players end up in them anyway, it's not going to make any major upheaval. But purely,
yeah, what I really need to do is come up with something so that when the time changes, it does it automatically.
Yeah, but for selfish means, I've asked him to change Friday Night 9-ball. That way, I can do all the tournament when it starts at 7 o'clock. If it starts at 8, it's no good to me because it finishes too late. 11 o'clock when
Yeah.
it finishes is still too late for me, but I stay the distance because I only have a short shift the next day.
Well, I certainly can change that one, and I could change some other ones too. It just depends on, you know. I probably don't want to change them all, like you're saying. At this point, it's a hard thing because we've passed the automatic time. But I could probably change the ones where it's messing up the tournament where we're not getting enough players.
If we're still doing Saturday night 8-ball world doubles, we're still doing that one because that's the other one that should be changed. There's only really that and Friday night 9-ball that really needs to be changed, I think.
Yeah, I'll take a look at it. I have been working on the league stuff. You know, I'm right now I'm working on the Masters League, and you know, even though the idea and the field and the database was to be able to allow you to play an opponent multiple times in one night, it wasn't implemented. So I've been working on that.
Right.
It's mostly testing. Writing the code isn't that hard. Testing, it's a pain in the ass.
Well, I was mentioned to the guys earlier there. I've been trying to get hold of Stubb on Facebook, but he's not around. Bill obviously wants to get this match done as quickly as he can. He's got other things in his mind. And
Stubb's only around when you don't want him to be around. When you want him to be around, you can't find the guy.
Yeah. So it's sort of tit for tat at the moment. Welcome to Hog. It's like a zoo in here. We've got chimps, snakes, and hogs.
That was well struck. Well, I mean, Slim's no slouch here. I mean, he's got a good game. He's definitely improved. I think he runs out better than he used to. And he needs to do that this match. I think he's got a moving advantage. We'll see what happens, but I mean, he's certainly capable of winning this match.
Well, my main criticism about Slim in the past really would be that sometimes he's a wee bit overambitious, going for something fancy where he should wind his neck in.
Yeah, like right here, this is where you play safe. This is the easiest safety in the world. You know, there's no reason not to lock him on the 5-ball here. And I would expect him to do that. I'll be shocked if he doesn't do that.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I'd do this every day. I mean, I'd just nail this to the back of the 5. That's not nailed. He needed to kill that stone dead.
Well, you always want to get it locked if you can, because if you get it locked, you can take away the angle for the kick.
That's the whole idea of it.
Well, that was now see that there we're going into possibly the category of bad decisions. I mean, I'm not sure Mr. Bill would have taken a shot at that jump shot. I mean, that looked very difficult to me. Now maybe I'm wrong and Semi was pretty confident about it, but that looked like a crazy shot to shoot at. I mean, he had a kick. He could have kicked at it.
That little kill shot, Cobra. That little kill shot to stall the cue ball stone dead right behind that 5, dead easy. I can do it.
It's getting it locked is you know, he had to what you really got to do, you don't want to get too close to the 5 and hit the 5 first. So you really got to, cut it a little so that the cue ball slides a little sideways.
Now, just a little reminder to guys, more especially on YouTube. If you're watching on YouTube, just refresh your stream every 15 minutes or so. To keep as best up with the time as you can, because what I found with watching the stream on my second monitor, that it can actually lag. It lagged by like 14 seconds. It just seems to drift away. for some weird reason.
Well, I mean, you of all people, Cobra, I would think would be good at that because your draw control is really good. I mean, it's really a matter of draw control, and you kind of got to decide, whether you're going to hit it with more speed or hit it with a soft draw. I think, more speed's easier, but a lot of times when you're trying to play safe and control the speed of the object ball, you have to kind of do a soft draw with a lower tip position, and that makes it a little trickier.
Well, I'll tell you something, and this might sound a bit weird. It helps trying to do a shot like that in VP4 that if you have a really smooth mouse mat. I've got this little slim metal mouse mat, and it's like an ice rink. And the mouse it's as if the mouse is, that game where you played like, it was like a puck, and it was the air bed, and you used to play like hockey in the arcades.
Yeah, hockey.
Yeah, right. Well, my mouse is like that. Every mouse I've got, from the cheapest to the dearest, they hover right over this mouse mat. It is so smooth, and it allows me just to, to sweep the mouse through a little bit quicker, just to get that little kill on that shot we were talking about.
Yeah, I got a Razor mouse pad. It's steel, and one side's kind of got grainy, and one side's real smooth.
Yeah, you want it as shiny as you can, and it just glides. Nothing catches.
I think what Cobra said is, I need to practice.
Yeah.
That's always a good thing to do.
Yeah.
I mean, those kind of things, you can, and maybe that's a good shot to practice before you play a match, just to try to get the feel for it. I can tell you this, when I go to a new pool room and I'm playing a tournament and stuff, and I start warming up, the first thing I do is start hitting soft draw shots and little spin shots, trying to get a feel for what the table is. Now, it's not like virtual pool where the table's the same all the time. I mean, it's crazy, how different tables can play. So it's super important to try to get a feel, because when you get in a match, that's not the time to try to get the feel.
So Slim has the early advantage, 2-rack lead.
Well, I would think he's going to take a whack at this bank shot here. I mean, you need to hit this hard enough that if you miss it, it's coming back an end rail. And, getting on the 2 is, he's kicking at this. I didn't like that shot. The shot I was talking about was a two-way shot where you could get safe at least distance and possibly a hook.
That's not great, because that's almost dead set, and Slim will have a little pop at this. I mean, that is dead into the pocket.
Yeah, it's not guaranteed it's going though.
Oh no, see? He's caught it. He's caught it inside, and he's scratched.
Yeah, I mean, I think in that situation I would have done the same thing that SemiPro did, because that was probably the best shot he had. And when I say best, it was the easiest one where he was going to make him kick at it.
So again, I'm going to repeat myself and keep doing it. At this stage in the tournament, with ball in hand, you've got the opportunity to deal with problems. You've got to get your way out.
Well, this is pretty simple here. You just roll this, because the 2 ball is going to go over to the end rail.
Yeah.
And he hit it perfect. So, this is a part of the game. He should run out like every single table like this. I mean, have any of you guys done the drills, or at least tried them?
I did one. I told you.
Yeah, well, you don't count. No, you don't even play in these. I'm just wondering if any of the guys playing these tournaments tried those drills.
No, they haven't. No.
Because I have a feeling if you try them, you're going to start thinking SemiPro's the greatest player in the world. Why doesn't he win these tournaments more? I mean, because they are hard.
Well, there you go. He's been caught out again, and Slim's going to pinch it.
Well, it was just poor position on the 6 ball, which,
SemiPro says he hates green on green. Well, why doesn't he do what I'm doing and go to blue?
Yeah, change the table color. But, you know, I mean, yeah, maybe he should have made that shot, but for sure he should have had less angle on it. I mean, there's no reason why you should be leaving yourself that kind of angle on the 6 ball.
That is one other point just to bring up. I looked at the calendar the other day, Steve, and I typed in 2022 to have a look at the tournaments that, or the World Championships that we did in 2022. Snooker wasn't one of them. And the other reason for mentioning snooker is that the World Championships are just around the corner. They start next month. So.
All right, well, we'll do a snooker then.
That's what's due. Yeah.
What do you think, a field of 32?
I would suggest 32 max, yeah. And then if anybody does want in, they'll get in, because it ain't going to go any more than 32 if it was lucky.
And then we just got to figure out what the match format's going to be.
Well, I think the best thing to do is to look back at I can't even remember what the last one was called. I think it was called World Masters. I think that, if I remember, that was the last one, and that was one that Brian called it the Masters rather than the World Championships. But that's certainly over 2 years ago, or thereabouts.
Now let's see. I can find it pretty easily.
So Slim is going to have a little comfort zone here at the moment. Long way to go though. But he's doing the right thing. He's punishing a mistake.
Yeah, I mean, I've been rooting for Semi to get his stuff together for a while, and you know, I don't know what it's going to take, but I know he's trying hard. Let's put it this way: it's not lack of work.
Well, I like now that he's in this position where he's trailing, and he's going to have to work at it to get back in it. Because if you're going to be a champion, you've got to get yourself out of holes as well. Let's have a quick look at this up here.
A lot of times it's just a matter of, you know, settling yourself in. I know for me personally, I have a lot of trouble, especially at the beginning of tournaments, getting settled in. I can play some pretty crappy pool. Now, he's got a choice here, but I would think that he would just put this cue ball right on top of the 8. He's got a pretty easy safety here, and that's not good.
No.
Now, the reason why he didn't pull that off is he needed to put a little right English on it to make the cue ball come back towards the 8 and not hit the 4. If he puts right English on that, it hits the rail and it comes back at the 8 ball and does not bump the 4 ball.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, that's... and that's not even a, you know, how do you move thing. That's I mean, that's just a basic cue ball movement thing. I mean, he should know that.
I'm putting bottom and left-hand English in this and going help our leather to draw to the rail and kick it into that 9 and 3.
Yeah, and this is, you know, I mean...
I'm actually stealing the angle a bit. And that is beautiful. That is beautiful.
That's what he needed to do, and it was pretty safe doing that, because he probably, as long as he hit it with speed, he probably wasn't going to get locked on the 9. I mean, the 5 could have been a problem, but...
While he's running out, I want to just go over that again for some of the guys watching. Now, the ball was what... Let me get my little red one. The ball was sort of there, right? So, you had the 2 balls there, and if you get the draw on the cue ball and you come to the rail, you need to have the left hand. Let me get the bloody thing to work right. Hang on a minute to get the straight line. That's the one I want. You need to get the cue ball to hit the rail, but with bottom and left hand English to kick it. Because if it just goes to the rail, the tangent line is going to go that way. It goes off the rail the same way it went onto the rail. If it goes on at 45, it will come off at 45. You put the English on it to tweak the cue ball and send it into that line to get the hit. Now, there's something for some of the less experienced players to go practice, because as soon as you learn a shot like that, that's another bit in your armoury and how you can actually be better at this game.
I'll tell you what, I went through a thing, you know, when I first started playing at hard times, I lost and I lost and I lost and I lost. And I mean, I lost for a year. I was going there and I'm playing and I lost and I lost. And, you know, I was telling myself, I know I play better than this. And it took me quite a bit of time before I got to the point where I figured out how to, you know, compete better.
Yeah. And you're right, Cobra. He may well have just cheated the pocket a little and got away without using that English. But there are occasions where you have to do that, but you have to be able to see that. That's the other point.
Yeah. Well, it's a combination of the two. I think he had some English on it too. And, you know, there's a little luck involved there because, you know, if you hit the 9 ball the wrong way, you could end up pinned on it. Mm-hmm. Although, you know, when you hit it with speed like that, the chance of it getting pinned's pretty low.
Well, dare I say this is vital already for semi-pro. I mean, again, the table is wide open.
Now, see, I'd be playing position in the side pocket here. Okay, and that's a good shot. I mean, it didn't matter which side pocket, you know, because you were going to get one of the other or the corner. I mean, you were going to get something out of that.
Yeah, you're never going to be not on the 5.
But see, that's a good example of running the cue ball on a line where you had to come up with a good shot. I mean, it was impossible not to. And
well,
you know, he does so many good things. It's just staying away from. If he can stay away from doing the wrong things, you know, he's going to be hard to beat. And I like the rhythm he plays that, you know, and a lot of this is from practicing a lot, you know. He's taken the same amount of time like on every shot, and that's really a good thing to do in pool.
Well, he's got a ball.
Problem with professional pool now, that same amount of time for some of these guys is getting to be pretty excessive.
No shot, though. Now, here we go with the push out.
Yeah, well, I mean,
you know, why doesn't he just push the 7 and finish behind the 5? Because he'll leave a kick and he may well be put back in.
I might just roll the 8 ball in that situation and leave a jump shot over the 2. See, this is too easy. This is just too easy. Well, the safety's easy too. I mean, Slim will never pass us back. Now, if he would have just rolled the 8 in, he could have for sure stopped the cue where he wanted to behind the 2 ball and left a jump shot. Then it's like a jump safe or something like that, and that, you know, whether Slim shoots it or gives it back, it's a lot more reasonable. Watch out.
That's unlucky.
That's not unlucky. That's a bad
shot.
Well,
if we'd gone to the rail, it'd have been beautiful.
Like, you got to know where the white one is, where the white guy is going. I mean, that's a sin there to do that. You know, it's if we're going to talk about pool sins, that was one of them. And Slim knows that. I mean, he knows he screwed up.
He took the risk.
But the worst thing about that for semi-pro might still think that's a good push out because he won the game.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah,
it wasn't a good push out.
Well, 3 ball has gone. No shot in the 1, I don't think. Nope.
Yeah, he's not getting much here.
Well, so here we go again then. Here we go again.
Well, he's got various things that he can do here. I mean, you could kick at this if you want. You could push to the bank. See, there's not a lot of cover down here. So here's a situation where, like, let's say you rolled up where that 7 ball is, okay?
Mm-hmm.
maybe a little further. Roll a 7-ball in, leave it. The 1 ball stuck on the rail. The bank's not that easy, and there's not a lot of cover. I probably would have tried to get it more straight on, like with a cue ball near the head string, but this is still okay.
Mm-hmm. No,
you give him an option to knock the 1 ball down to the end rail here. If you put it like where the cue ball was right or on the head string straight across than the 1, the options are more limited. Yeah, you can put the 1 ball on the rail and take the cue ball down table, but you can't hide. There's no way that you can hide the
rail not hit, ball in hand. That's a big mistake.
Yeah. I think he was trying to hit it with inside and get it on the floor.
He missed it on the way through, yeah.
Well, that was kind of tough because that 4-ball's not very big. I would have tried to take the 1 ball down table, hit like a low angle bank and take the 1 ball and try to get it behind the 7 and the 8.
Well, he's looking at this combo.
Yeah, he's sitting pretty good on it. I mean, it's not guaranteed, but he's sitting pretty good.
Yeah, well done.
I'll say this to you guys: when you get a situation where if you don't get the snooker, you're leaving the cue ball and object ball close together, and I mean, within 2 or 3 feet of each other. That's not a good shot unless you're really pretty sure you're getting the snooker, because it's just your opponent can do too much with that. If you're going to leave the guy a look at the ball, you're better off at least having distance. And he had a chance there where he could have got a snooker. At a minimum, get distance.
Mm-hmm. Well, this is again one of these deep in the pocket shots.
You got to put yourself in other guy's shoes, say, okay, well, if I screw this up, he's going to have this. Would I like to have that? And if you're going, yeah, I'd love to have that, then it's probably not a good shot to shoot at unless you're 100% sure you're getting safe.
I think he's got to dig into the cue ball a bit here, unless this is running away past the 5. I don't think he can hold this. He's going to stun down to the. No, he is trying to hold it. He is holding it. See, he's got the touch, but he's just almost gone too far.
I don't know, Cobra. I mean, cutting that ball in. If you're talking about the 1 ball, that thing was like.
Yeah, it was there.
Really close to the rail.
Yeah, it was sort of there. Yeah.
But it was very tight to the rail. I mean,
I tell you this: if it was a challenge room, all of them would have went for it.
Yeah, well, they don't care. Of course, there's something to say about playing like you don't care. Sometimes that can be really good. I mean, I try to play like that, although that doesn't mean do stupid shots. It means play like you're playing like you're not stressed out and loose, but you still have to play smart.
Well, this needs a good touch as well. This 6, I don't like this.
Yeah, I mean, he should be able to handle this. I mean, he just got to get the line right on this. The touch doesn't have to be that good. Yeah, that's a bailout shot there, and he's going to pay for it.
He's suckered himself there with that shot. See, that's why I didn't like it, because you have to really work the cue ball good to control it.
But you got to bring that back. Yeah. I mean, you're going to come off the long rail, end rail. You've got 2 rails to slow the ball down. If you end up overhitting it, okay, you end up overhitting it. But I would much rather shoot it the other way and end up overhitting it than do that.
Yeah, it was a bailout. Yeah, he was going for the sort of bedhead cut. Now, something went there, didn't it? Something went, and the 1-ball's gone.
Now, you got to make your decision. Are you shooting at this or not? He's got a really good safety play, taking the cue ball between the rail and the 3-ball and sticking it on the 9.
Yeah, I like that.
Or you can shoot this. There's nothing wrong with shooting this, but if you shoot this, you need to make it and get on the 3-ball.
I'm ducking every day with this shot. I'm heading your
I
direction,
probably
Steve.
am too.
Well, he's grabbed the bull with the horns, and he's going to have to play a dinky little jump, and the waggle started.
The cue ball.
I don't think he's jumping this and getting it. It's too tight, too short.
Well, this is a lot easier jump than the one he tried before. I mean, the cue ball brushed the 5 ball. That's what screwed him.
Bill would look at this and think, "What the hell are you talking about?"
Yeah, Bill would be jumping. Bill would already jump this one. You got to be a little careful here. You know, if you hit this with speed, the scratch is on. If you hit this easy, then you might.
Oh, that's a nice outcome.
If you hit it like that, you're still at the table.
Well,
and again, you know, he's got to decide what to do here. I'd probably shoot at this just because. Well, I don't think I'd shoot at it that way though.
Oh.
See, I would have shot at that with outside, with a. Playing a little different, like playing the thin side of the pocket. I mean, there's always a risk when you shoot at that ball, it's going to hang.
Now, he's got to get really good on this 6 ball because of the restrictions that he has in the 7. This is not out this rat yet. This is not easy. He's got to get good. He could get right into this and go across, but he's still hampered with that 8 ball.
This is a little tricky because you can't roll through between the 7 and 8 very easily. He's going to hit the 7.
He's looking to do it and get lucky, and that's always going to happen.
I think he was trying to get on the far side of the 7s, and so he could come up with a shot. And I mean, this is cuttable. But you know, then you also have to come up with a shot.
Well, I don't think he's going to go for the cut at that. I think a little tiny feather with a bit of right English and try and use a 9 ball. That would be my strategy here.
Yeah. Or you know, I mean, you can
draw
this cue ball back into the 8 ball. Well, that was you know, that had to be a real feather.
Yeah.
He could have punched the cue ball into the 7 and drawn it back into 8. The 7 was going to hit the 9, but it would go down table. As long as you get him on the 8 ball, you know, you were going to be good.
Well, the cue ball's going to be traveling. That's one thing that's guaranteed if he's going for this. And you know, the line that he's going to take here would look as if it's going to finish in the short side.
He is. Yeah, it is a short side shot. Unless you can hit this with draw and maybe a touch of right English and come right back down.
Oh, now he needs to. Oh, he's missed it. I never even noticed he'd missed the ball.
Yeah.
I'm too busy looking at the cue ball. I forgot the 7 hasn't got in.
Well, that was you know, that wasn't an easy shot. But you know, he missed the pocket by a mile. That's the thing is, you know, I've said this before. If you're missing the pocket, you know, way outside the pocket, then you know maybe you shouldn't be shooting at the shot.
This is not good either.
It was tough.
I mean, he can pot the 7, but he's got to get this cue ball.
Well, he's just got to roll. This isn't too hard. He's just got to roll it forward. I thought he'd roll it forward and take a cut on the 8.
Well, that's what I thought, and he had a different idea.
Yeah, well, I mean, this is okay. I mean, the ball goes. All he's got to do is make it go straight up and down.
Now that's going to go straight down, is it? Is it straight on it? No, it isn't. That's the bedhead cut now.
Yeah, he's got a little more cut than he'd like, but I would expect him to make it. I mean, you just don't want these cuts because every once in a while you hang one up.
You read what that Nicker said.
Well, I'd have to practice because it would be knowing what to do 99% of the time and executing it right 2% of the time. So
we are 9 racks to 5 in favour of the USA. So we're on the firing line for a meteorite between the moon and the earth. and they only discovered it like days before it was due to happen. So that's how the end will come. Some big bloody meteorite the size of New York City is going to just pop over the horizon one day, and some astronomers are going to say, yeah, we spotted that last week. It's heading straight for us.
What are you talking about, Hugh?
You know what's the news, Steve, or does that not make the headlines in the States? No?
Oh, boy. All kinds of things make the headlines in the States. Usually nowadays they start with Trump.
Well, they were talking about it in news the other night there about a meteorite. It was about 90 meters across or whatever.
Yeah, they come down every once in a while. I mean, that's not that unusual.
Yeah, well, this thing was going between us and the moon.
And this is where semi-pros really get is these kind of tables. You know, he's going to run these out a lot.
Well, he has to stay in
touch.
Another
thing, Napnickers, I'm holding you guys to a high standard. Let's put it this way. I'm comparing the better players to pros in real life. If you would have watched a pro in real life shoot that 7-ball and shoot it the way semi-pro did, they would have been suicidal. You would have seen somebody real unhappy because they don't expect to ever hit a shot like that. Yeah, a pro is more likely to dog a ball he shouldn't than miss a ball like that.
So here we go. Back to within 3. Needs a little run just to steady the nerves. Get back on parity. And he's got the first part right. He's got no shot though. Well,
and here we go again. Is what are you going to do? I mean, he's got a bank shot. There's nothing wrong with shooting it. You shoot this, you make it. If you're going to play safe, this isn't the easiest place to play safe from.
Oh, just caught the foul jaw.
I don't blame him for shooting at that because there was a safety there, but I think the bank shot was actually easier than the safety. And that's a smart thing to do by OnePocketSlim. Because I'll say this about semi-pro. If you play a guy like semi-pro, he's a real rhythm player, and you let him get in a rhythm and you're in trouble. This is how you take a rhythm player out of his rhythm is you make him kick at balls.
Bring all the little tricks in the book to the table. Mess with somebody's head.
Yeah, make him stop, start.
Oh, here, hang on a minute. I think he's got Slim in trouble here. He might be corner hooked here. Or is he?
It's close.
Oh.
It's close. It's very close. I think he can see a piece of this one ball.
Oh.
But I'm not sure. I would actually masse this and try to hit the one ball off the other side rail of the end rail, because if you just thin this one ball, you basically got to get the one ball back on top of the 6. And I'm not sure he can thin it. It's real close. I think he can.
Yeah, he might be able to just catch it.
But the problem is where are you going to put the cue ball and how you're not going to sell out. That's why I'd probably hit a little masse here. And he's going to try to run the cue ball. And, it wasn't a bad idea, but he's going to pay now.
He's going to be nailed this time, or he should be.
Well, Slim's got to decide what he wants to do. If you want to try to frustrate a guy like a rhythm player like semi-pro, you put him right on that 7 ball.
Well, it's Semi that's at the table now. He's going to do it.
Oh, I'm sorry. Well, if I was Semi, Semi may shoot at this, but I don't like shooting at it because the position on the 1 sucks. I would put him on the 7 here every time.
Where's he going to shoot the 1? The combo?
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, he'd shoot the combo, but the problem is getting position on the 1 ball is tough.
You don't know where it's going to end up.
And he's taking a long time thinking about this, and he really doesn't need to. You just hit the 1 ball, short of the side pocket and roll up on the 7.
Yeah, he's played the combo. And the one's still in play.
I think he's going to get away with it there, but I didn't like that shot because, you know, he didn't have to come up with this shot on the one, and the safety was pretty guaranteed. But regardless of that, I think SemiPro would still easily win this match playing super aggressive if he just stopped making mistakes. Because, you know, he plays so good, he should run out just,
well,
you know, almost every time he gets to the table.
He's got the scoreboard going in the right direction until he's done that.
Yeah, and this is the kind of thing I'm talking about. I mean, that's just.
I mean, you'll get away with it. But
maybe, but you know, it's just
careless.
You know, what the heck is that?
Uh-oh.
He hasn't got away with it yet.
Uh-oh. Well,
now he's going to have to shoot a bank shot or cut it down the rail.
Well, he'll be waggling all night of that.
It's just, you know, if you try those practice drills and you find out how hard they are,
that's
you
well
would think,
done.
well, how can a guy that can do these practice drills, they require a lot of precision on some of them. How can he hit that shot when all he has to do is roll forward a foot, and he rolls forward 2 feet and hooks himself?
2 in it. 4 ball.
And I think that's called trying to get too perfect, which we've all done. But you know, you got to stop doing that. It's like, make sure you don't snooker yourself.
Well, he should be back within 1 in the next 2 minutes, because I can't see where this is going to go wrong.
No, I mean, this is the part of the game he does well. I think he's going to have to go forward here. He could come back, but I think forward's a better direction.
He's a bit straight. That's the problem. He's managed to get the stun.
Shoot it in the side. Yeah. Well, he's going to have to crank this over. This is not easy where that 6 is. Oh, okay. He's just going to. I think that was the smart play. I was thinking he'd go up table, but that's way smarter what he did. Yeah, I mean, it's almost like watching a robot play when he gets rolling.
And he's inside the 7, so he can actually still just draw back and kill it.
Yeah, he plays a lot of area position, which is good. It's real important, you know, that you recognize shots where area position is fine and where precision is needed. I have a tendency myself to play too much precision, and sometimes I play precision where I should just be playing area and it hurts me.
Mm-hmm.
And you can go vice versa the other way, where you're playing area instead of a precision, and it can hurt you. So you just have to recognize the situation. And there we go with more balls in, and he's got a shot, and I think he's going to run out here too. And the thing about a guy like SemiPro is once he gets rolling and in a rhythm, he's probably not going to screw up. Now, see this little spinner? That's the shot that I don't see people in VP shoot. That's the shot where you really put a lot of English on it and just hit a little spinner and let the spin take off the rail. Most guys wouldn't have shot that.
Just tweaks off the rail.
Well, what's he doing here? Oh boy, that was a crazy shot. I don't get that.
I don't know why he was trying to break them up, but he's got it.
He wasn't trying to break them up.
Sure?
All he needed to do was come out to the middle of the table. I don't know what the hell he did there. I mean, I think he needed to hit it hard, you know, to get the cue ball to move to the side rail, and his tip position was just way too low. But again, you know, he should know that. I mean, he should know how much the ball's going to want to draw. You know, when you hit it hard like that, the draw sensitivity goes way up. So you got to be very moderate with the Q-tip position. That's almost just a straight center ball position.
Oh, the cue ball just travelled far enough for the thin cut.
Well, I mean, this whole thing fell apart on the 2 ball when he went down there. He's lucky he didn't scratch. I mean, I just don't get it.
Well, I thought the face he was playing at there, he was trying to get a breakout or something.
I think he was just, he was a little straight, so he's hitting it hard to get the cue ball to come out, and I think he just got the tip too low, and it just took off. Which, I would tell you this, is in real life, it's a lot easier to make that mistake than it is in VP, where, in real life, you snap your hand a little bit, and all of a sudden the Q-tip dives, and, you hit that shot.
Mm-hmm.
But in VP, where you can put the tip and it stays there, it's a lot less likely that that's going to happen.
Well, how costly is it going to be? Because he was right down Slim's neck there.
Yeah, that's a 2-shot swing, and the longer it goes like this, the greater chance that Slim's going to win. I mean, hopefully
2 balls going to get there. It's going to get there, is it? No.
I think he made a ball.
Did he get one?
I thought he did. I thought something went in.
Yeah, 8 balls gone.
Yeah. SemiPro might be feeling good about his game after running out a couple racks there. So he just needs to stay positive, and when he gets to the table, keep doing the same thing.
He might. Let's have a look. Yeah,
I didn't like that shot. If you're gonna shoot that, you got to hit it harder and get the 4 ball out of there.
Yeah, I thought he'd have been maybe using the 9 to get the cue ball in, but as you said, I mean the 4 balls. Well, the 4 ball. Let's have a look. He can get to the 4 ball, no problem.
He can get to it, but
he's got to get in the 3 though.
He could hit the shot the same way again, and he maybe doesn't get to it. I'm just saying that if I was going to play the carom, I would have hit it harder and got the 4 ball out of there.
So, well, Slim's problem now is, what does he do? Does he go help her leather for the bank? But where's the cue ball going to end up for this 4?
Well, he can do a distance save pretty easy. Put the 3 ball on the end rail, but he doesn't have a easy way to get a snooker here. He can try to thin it and come around 2 rails and get him on the 7. That shot's there. It's not a great shot. The 7 ball is not a particularly big ball where it is. He's going to shoot it, looks like. Nope, he's playing some kind of safety, I think.
Oh.
I can't. Well, I don't know if that was just a really bad shot or whether it was a bad save.
Well,
I couldn't tell.
This is as easy as you're going to get it to get on the 4, because he just needs to bump it in and get the cue ball out in that line, and he's perfect, I think. Little roll through. I would assume a little roll through, yeah.
SemiPro reminds me of one of these guys, like, you watch golfers. Like, I remember when David Duval, this is showing my age, but when David Duval first came out on tour, he was second like 5 times in like around 10 tournaments. He kept coming in second, kept coming in second. When he started winning, all he did was win. Mm-hmm. I mean, once the floodgates opened, and I think SemiPro is going to be like that, is when he gets it together where he stops doing silly stuff, he's going to win a lot.
Do you know something, Steve? I think you said that in a previous stream.
I probably have.
A while back, yeah. I think you did.
Sometimes it takes a while. I mean, I know I get on his case about stuff a lot, but it's because I expect more from him. It's hard, especially mental stuff. I've gone through this stuff where I just underperformed, and it's hard. It's easy to say, but it's hard to get out of that mode.
Well, this is a good table if you had a shot in the 1. I mean, you can jump.
Yeah, well,
again, he's not guaranteed to have a shot in the 2, though,
I wouldn't shoot that jump shot. Again, here I'd be probably pushing out. He's going to kick at it.
You see, that's a problem.
Well, so that's a bad shot because, it's easy to recognize that there's a good chance I'm going to be hooked here if I kick at this 1.
Yeah.
It's like, why would you kick it when the chance of being hooked is so high?
He's going for the bank, up and down.
Yeah, I mean, this bank is doable.
Oh,
Well,
double kiss.
You have to miss the kiss. Yeah, you had to do something with the cue ball. Now that sort of thing you'll recognize a lot if you play one pocket, because it comes up in one pocket a lot.
Yeah, that type of shot is all about avoiding the double kiss.
Yeah.
Experienced one pocket players are sort of well versed in how to avoid that double kiss.
Yeah, that one was avoidable. He could have avoided the kiss there. But I think he should have pushed out on the one.
That's not going to get there.
Well,
it's not going to get there.
And this is the kind of stuff Slim doesn't need to do. This a little touchy here, isn't it? Yeah, no, it wasn't. He just hit it too hard. Now he's not happy, but
well, he's
got a couple of choices. The easiest safe here is hit it with right English and kill the cue ball and bring the 5 right down towards the 6 ball. Use the 7-8 as blockers. You can thin this and try to go behind the 9. That's a pretty small ball. You can thin this and try to use the 7-8 going on the right side, which is I think what he's going to do.
He's got the cover, I think. No, he might be able to cut this.
It's close. It's very close. I can't tell. It's very close.
Now that I look at it, he'd have to, I think, to twist this a bit if he was even going to try, and then there's a danger of the scratch.
Well, you can play it off the rail. It's close enough you can play this off the rail. Now, if you play this off the rail, the scratch is definitely a danger, although typically it would come down between the 6 and the corner pocket. He's playing off the rail, I think. Oh, no, I don't know what he did there. He got a lot of ball. Well, he sold out there is what he did.
Mm-hmm.
I think Steve is wearing something. Well, I'm rooting for SemiPro. I think I identify with this, the struggles. Believe me, I went through a lot of struggles, and I still do. I mean, I've won a lot, but it's hard.
Well, it's looking odds on. We're going to have to start all over from 10-all.
The other thing is I always root for guys that work on their game because, they're working hard and, that typically translates into progress, but, sometimes you can work real hard and you seem like you're going nowhere. It doesn't always come right away. But yeah, I'm definitely a SemiPro fan. I know it doesn't sound like it sometimes, but I'm definitely a SemiPro fan.
Well, that's another down for 20 racks. And a ball.
Okay, now if there's ever a time you should play safe.
I mean, that 4 ball is just waiting to grab you.
Just stick him on the 4 ball. Yeah. I mean, and that's not very well done. He got there, but see that. Now that kind of shot there, that's the kind of shot everybody should just go practice.
Yeah, he should have been there.
Because that comes up all the time, and that's really should be guaranteed. You should, he barely got there because he didn't open it up enough.
Still got
you kind of got to learn how the cue ball is going to move off the rail, whether you're using running English or holding it, or it's. He got it, but it was barely.
Was he trying to get through the 5 and 2, I think?
Yeah. Now, can you lose from here? Yeah. I mean, you can lose playing safe like that, but guess what? I like my odds of my opponent shooting that shot. I'd take those odds every time.
There's problems ahead, though.
Yeah, well, he's got to figure out what he's going to do with the 2 ball, whether he's going to play safe or, I mean, he may try to 3-foul him here. You roll this up on the 9 ball and roll the 2 down by that 2-4, and then the next shot you're going to hook him on the 2-4. I mean, you can plan the 3-foul by putting the ball in the place where, and this is what he's doing. He didn't get it on the 9 though. That's probably not good enough. Well, for sure it's not, because he can see the 1 ball. I mean, I like the thought process there. That's probably what I would have done in that situation, is try to pin him on the, because look at where the 1 ball is. If he gets him pinned on the 9, the next shot he's pinning him on those balls for sure. And good chance to win with the 3-foul.
Right, so the 1 ball onto the short rail, that's where it's going to end up.
Yeah, well, you're trying to take the cue ball, around the table and use the 9, the 8. You're gonna spin this. Ideally, you want to go between the 6 and 8, although I don't know if he can get it that tight. He may have to come on the other side of the 6. You don't want to hit the 6.
Right, he's gone with a bit of left now, so...
Yeah, you have to put some English on it regardless. I think he'll probably go outside the 6, because it's, you don't want... like that.
Come out too far, though. Come out too far.
Yeah, I mean, he got too much 1 ball. Those shots are touchy, but that's why you got to practice them.
Well, especially when you're putting the English on it, because then you just got to have it really sweet, because you end up taking too much of the 1 ball.
Well, he's perfect on this. This billiard goes. It's an easy billiard. You're going to want to hit this with a little bit of right English. Or no, you're going to want to hit this with a little bit of left English, because I think this thing is a little touchy. A little left English to try to throw the 4 ball. Oh, he's just going to play safe.
Well, Slim's going to kick this in.
No, yeah, I don't like that shot, because it was too hard to get him pinned on the 4 ball.
Well, maybe not.
I thought he could have made the billiard.
I thought it was closer to the rail.
He's got a piece of this 2 ball. He might be able to cut this onto the 4.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's not a difficult hit.
No. Now this is interesting here, because there's a few different shots you can play. You can just hit it soft like this. You can play it 2 rails off the 2 ball. And if you're going to play it soft like this, that's a pretty good play, because you put him in a spot where it's not automatic to get the safe here. I think he'll still...
I think the side pocket comes into play there. He was so close to the 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not bad, because he's not jumping at that distance.
Well, it gives him another try. I mean, because the other option of kicking 2 rails at the 2 ball was going to be difficult to get safe. I mean, he didn't give up a shot, but he gave up a safe that was pretty easy.
Welcome to Jose.
And that kind of kick there, that's a good kind of kick to practice, because those are hard to visualize when you got a big open table like that and that kind of angle. Those, you'll see pros miss those shots. That's a shot that's not guaranteed for anybody. I mean, you probably wouldn't see Efren miss it, but you see a lot of pros miss that particular kick. Plus, semi-pro, by playing that little shot, at least got himself another kick at it.
Well, this again, there's no problem. It just has to be done. So again, ideally, he wants to be middle of the table, parallel with the 6 if he can.
Well, I'm so sure he's going to run out. I'm going to the bathroom.
And that'll do, because you can just put it into the right side of the pocket and stop it. Come back an inch. That's fine. Well, this could go all the way. It's still very much heading in that direction, the way it's going. But OnePocketSlim's going to have the first go at building up this little lead again, if he can. Rack number 22. Now the 6 ball's getting in the way. There was a chance that 8 was going to go, and this could be a 1-9 possible. Although, let's have a look. Is he going to take the bait here, or is he going to just tuck the cue ball past the 9 if he can? Let me have a look. Oh, it's a delicate little touch. Now, the only thing he has here, he's got the 6 ball guard in the pocket. Well, that wasn't in the plan.
I'm back. What happened there?
Oh, well,
something looked like the white ball went to the wrong place.
It's just a pity I didn't have the replay. The 1 ball was here, the 9 ball was there. Somehow Semi managed to. I think he went for the combo to push the 1 onto the 9 and sending out the 9 down that rail, but he ended up with the cue ball in the side pocket.
Yeah, well, you got to know where Whitey's going.
So this is a gift of an opportunity for Slim to get that gap.
Yeah, so, and that SemiPro's just got to stop making all these mistakes. I mean, that's, he's not going to win this match if he keeps doing that stuff.
Well, the good thing is from what I've seen in the chat, I mean, SemiPro's been making his own comments about his own results that he's getting, and Slim's paying absolutely no attention to it. He's not getting into this tit for tat. He's changed the comments.
SemiPro is emulating his hero Stub.
Yeah.
I mean, he's that's the kind of stuff Stub does. Except, I think Stub's better at not letting it distract him.
So now we're on the.
Well, I will say this about Slim. I mean, Slim is one of the guys that's really improved. I mean, and I think he's improved all over. He runs out better than he used to. He moves better than he used to. I mean, he's really improved. I mean, who else did he beat this tournament? He beat somebody else that was really good, didn't he?
Oh, I can't remember.
Was it Bedhead he beat? I think he beat Bedhead.
Let's have a look.
I mean, and he's certainly in this match. He's ahead now. He's got a good chance to win.
Where are we?
Just click on Slim's name; it'll light them all up.
Right, he beat Chimpy in the last round. He beat.
Click on his name, not the info thing, just there. Yeah, right there.
He beat Sergaresh, and he beat.
Well, Chimpy's no pushover.
He hasn't beat Bedhead though.
He didn't beat Bedhead. Okay, it was Chimpy that he beat. That was a pretty good player. So I mean, because really, I think him and Chimpy used to be pretty even. Chimpy, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but it seems like he's gotten better.
Well, Slim must have come up dry. Because Semi's at the table. 5 ball, let's have a look at that. Plenty of room. You can cheat that past the 9, no problem.
He's above it, but he's fine. Now here you just got to decide whether you're rolling it soft or you run into the 9. He's going to run into the 9. That's a good shot.
On the other side, yeah.
He's fine. He can come right across for the 6. And this is the kind of stuff where, if you watch the line SemiPro moves the ball on, except that one crazy shot on the 2, his lines are usually pretty good. And that's from doing a lot of drills. But that's the thing. One of the things I look at a player is which line is he rolling the ball on? Like that was a really good line. Because that kind of little draw, kind of stun across shot, I mean, it looks like it's simple, but it's real easy to hit that on not such a good line.
Well, this is the one that will decide it.
Well, he's good. This looks funny. Yeah, I
Uh-oh.
don't like going that way. That's the wrong way to go.
Uh-oh. Oh, dear.
See, he should have gone 3 rails there. He tried to hit that with straight top. He should have hit that with left English and gone 3 rails. I was watching him cue it up. I'm thinking, what is he doing here? Because it's going to open up off the end rail. Because you're going to pick up some spin off the first rail. So you've got to put some left on that and get it to crank 3 rails.
This could be a bit painful, this, for Semi. Because he's still trailing by 2 and he's about to be trailing by 3, and Slim with the break. Anything can happen.
I don't know if he just tried to cinch that shot or what. I mean, obviously putting English on it makes the shot harder, but I think that was the correct shot to shoot was putting the English. There we go. That's called that's called a shit kick there. That's that was a good break. That was a bad luck.
Yeah, he got the wrong roll.
Yeah, I mean, well, he got kicked by another ball. The cue ball his cue ball was fine. It just, that's just a bad. Now, if you ever wanted to say unlucky, Hugh, that's the time to say unlucky, it right there. Yeah. That was unlucky.
Now, I presume the 3 goes past that 7.
He's looking at how to get on this. You can either roll it this way or come back the other way, but you really want to get. I would really be trying to get this cue ball to go past the side pocket.
Yeah.
And this isn't a bad choice. I mean, I probably wouldn't do this in real life, but in VP, this is probably still good.
And he's got a nice little angle.
Yeah, now you either got to just stun it over and go forward in 2 rails. You got to decide what you're going to do. He's going forward, and he underhit that. I don't think he wanted this angle back, but he's still okay.
No, he's just got to be careful. Yeah, got it.
That was tight. He pots balls really well. I'm surprised when he misses them, actually. You don't get 147s on the snooker table if you can't pot balls. But it's amazing how you can miss balls and pool. Yeah, he can be a really good snooker player. I remember when I was in England, I was talking to a guy at a snooker club, and this is when they were just starting to play pool over in the UK. I mean, it's not, this is before you had Appleton and Melling and Shaw and all those guys playing pool. And I'm talking to this guy, and he's like, yeah, he goes, we got a pool table here now. He goes, those pockets are big, but it's amazing how you can miss the ball. Because to a snooker player, they're like, well, this ought to be easy. Well, the thing is about snooker is you're not spinning the ball and shooting the kind of difficult shots you do in pool as far as angles. And, that's just, here we go again. No excuse for it. I mean, that's just bad speed.
Well, Chimply, just to give one mention here, it wasn't in a tournament, but it was in a match room with, I think it was a Hong Kong guy, HK guy. He went into his room one day, and he was playing him at snooker, and Semi had a 147 in that match room.
Yeah, well, I'm pretty confident that SemiPro is going to get through this stuff and start winning a lot. I mean, you just got to keep the faith and keep doing it and keep working hard. It's just,
Yeah, he's had tons of 147s, but all he's doing there is breaking into the back of the reds and opening them up.
And there we go there where we miss a ball we shouldn't. So, I don't know what it's going to take for him to get over it or when it's going to happen, but I think it will. I never look at people and go, well, this is the way he is. This is the way it'll always be. I mean, that's in my opinion, that's pretty negative. I always look at people and go, well, they can get better, especially if they put the work in.
That's not Parliament, is it?
Well, I've had to. Mal, well, yeah.
Oh, it's Mal. Good evening to Mal.
Mal's another guy that's got tremendous game and hasn't won tons of world championships, but he's certainly got the capability. It's hard. It's hard to get to the point where you don't make mistakes, especially under pressure, because human beings aren't like that.
Yeah, but the other thing is you won't win any if you're not in them.
Watch out. See, like stuff like that. There's no reason to have rolled up on a 6-ball like that. You're just asking to screw yourself. I mean, you got away with it that time, but if you look in real life, Federer Gorestu, they've taken to calling the robot. Federer Gorst is like a robot, and that's why he's the best player right now, because he plays like a robot. He's unbelievably consistent.
Well, he's back within one.
Yeah, I know it's tough for you with your time-wise, Mal. But yeah, I've always been happy when Mal's played in these because Mal's a great player. I mean, he's one of my favorite guys to watch play. I like the rhythm he plays in. I like the way he moves the cue ball. I mean, he's really strong. So,
right, what do you do here, Steve? All out because you're going to be lucky to get the two in that gap.
You play safe.
Well, he's looking for the bank, and I don't think he's got it.
I don't think he can make it. No. There's a double kiss there.
Yeah.
I would have played safe there. I would have put the cue ball on the 2.
He's kicking it in.
Yeah, I mean, he may run out this way. I just don't think that's the percentage chance of winning. He would have been better off playing safe.
Now, if he gets too close to the rail too soon, this 2 ball's going to stay up. And that's perfect.
No, he's got it. Yeah. And that was the right way to play it off the rail there because it gets it away from the 5 ball. Plus, where it was sitting on the rail, that was the best chance of making it, too. Yeah, well, Mal, so that's the thing is you can always improve the safety game just by working on it. I mean, that...
Well, there's a very guy to ask, Steve. Mal plays a lot of the offline. Has he been doing any of your drills? There's a question.
I don't know. Mal, have you tried the drills? You ought to be good at them. I don't know if you knew this, Mal, but we put drills online. So if you go online and you go to the watch page, there's a tab for drills. And the drills, you can sort them by difficulty or whatever. And there's some great drills in there.
Semi showed him.
Yeah. Although, like you're saying, Mal, I mean, the part of your game that isn't as good as really the safety part. I mean, if you're going to practice, because you run out like well water. You guys probably never heard that term.
No.
That's an American term. Runs out like well water.
Well, if you're going to try and get cute here, you've got to get really cute.
Well, of course it counts, Hog. Especially if you beat them on good luck mode. Then it really counts.
Oh, what's his options here, I wonder?
Well, he's looking at playing safe, of course. And this is a little tricky here. You can always push, although I don't know that there's a lot of great places to push to here. That's a pretty good play.
I'll do it.
Yeah. I mean, he wasn't going to come up with any kind of safety that was bulletproof in that situation. That was a pretty good play.
Now, where that 2 ball is, if you get the angle on that 2, you're breaking the 3 and the 7.
Yeah, I mean, if this is me, I'm kicking 2 rails at this 1 ball with speed, and I'm trying to get the cue ball to kind of go over behind the 4-8, and I'm moving the 1 ball up table. I wouldn't kick it this way because not enough chance of getting safe. You know, you got to sort of look, where can I move it? If I hit it hard, you know, you can try to stick them on that 4-8, or you can just try to move the one ball up to the top of the table at slower speed. You kind of got to make a choice on those of what you think is your best chance.
Now, does he have to stun this in? Because I don't like the line the cue ball's going if he just rolls this in.
Well, he's going to the corner.
Yeah, in the corner. The cue ball's rolling.
He needs to stun it a little.
Well, he's missed
well,
the
he
one.
needs to make it is what he needs to do.
Well,
oh boy.
Semi now is perfect. In terms of getting
stop
goodness
shot
too.
Or just roll this. Yeah, you got a nice angle because you want speed coming into that 3-7. When you have two balls like that, you need to separate them. You want to hit them with some speed.
That's a good point, Mal. He could play the billiard onto the 9 and just hold, but no, he's still good. He's still good.
I think he tried to move the 9, but see, now he's not as good on the 2.
Well, he can pitch it a bit. Yeah,
that wasn't worth it. But he hit it good. He hit that really good. He hit that perfect. All right. Well, I mean, he should be out from here.
Now, anybody that's got a good memory, and that's not me, is this the first time Semi's been in the lead or about to be in the lead?
Might be. I know he's been tied before.
He was, 6-2 down or whatever?
Well, yeah, it was 10 apiece at one point.
Yeah, but he's not been in the lead.
Well, you know, when he goes back and watches this match, and he watches how many games he threw away, honestly, I mean, Semi should be ahead by 5 games at this point.
Yeah, 1-0 doesn't count. We're talking about in the meat of the match, he's never been in the lead. Yeah. So this is a good time to get in the lead, though.
Yeah, you just, you know, as a player, you don't want to be, you know, this is basically now race to 6, and you don't want to be in that situation when you're the better player because, you know, things don't have to go your way. You could have some bad luck. The other guy plays great. You know, you don't know what's going to happen. As a better player, your big advantage in these long races is that over time, you're going to accumulate more games. So, you know, you want to be ahead by 5 games at this point, not 1.
Well, here we go. Dry break, I think. 1 ball on, stun up the table for the 2, I would suggest. It looks as if it all goes, not a problem.
Because anything could happen at this point. I mean, Slim certainly plays good enough to win.
Now, does he go to the rail or does he play the little stun? Yeah, he's gone to the rail, a little bit of spin.
He almost had to go to the rail on that, and that's perfect. Maybe just a teeny bit of check in English.
Now, how's the line? Well, he's
he didn't check it enough. He didn't want to have this angle. He's going to go forward with inside.
Yeah, because it doesn't go into the side. Yeah. And
one thing about Slim is he plays good from inside, and he didn't underhit that shot like a lot of people will, because the cue ball kills on the end rail when you got inside on it. No, I mean Slim has really improved. I would say at least since the last 6 months, I would say Slim's the most improved player.
Mal, have you been using the break box, or you got it off when you're playing your games?
Yeah, I did add the break box for the computer opponent too.
Well, loads of room. Just got to watch the side pocket if he's going that direction.
Well, I don't know if there's an option for break box in the World Championships. That's something the career modes. That's something I should probably put in, at least for the Pro Tour career. Yeah, it's in there on offline, but I don't think the Pro Tour career has it. That'd be a nice thing to add to it. Just have some tournaments where it's turned on.
14 apiece. This is exactly what I want. As a spectator, you want it to get to squeaky bum time. and see who holds out.
If you're one pocket slim, you're real happy at this point. If you're semi-pro, you should be real unhappy at this point because, well, honestly, you should be real nothing at this point. You can be unhappy later. Right now, he just needs to stay positive and try to win.
3 is gone, but what does he do here? Let's have a look at what his options are.
Yeah, I mean,
it's thin, and he'd need to hit it really sweet for this to cheat past the 5.
You can put the 1 on the end rail. You could shoot it. You could shoot the bank. He's going to go with the 1 on the end rail, and he didn't get him on the 6.
And VP4, that's not good enough.
And this is a little tricky here, getting it over there behind the 5. It's doable. You have to hit a spinner here. This is one of those shots where, you know, he's just going to shoot it.
Yeah.
Which I think was probably the right shot in that situation because the safety was.
You know, that was only, 2 inches off the rail. If it had been on that rail, it would have probably took that shot away there, but in VP4, you got away with it.
Yeah.
Welcome to Spectre.
Yeah, I don't think Slim played a bad shot, but it wasn't good enough.
Well, we've had 2 significant matches in this tournament where things have happened right at the death that have broke one player's heart and the other players come out laughing. We had the match last night where Spectre Dawn had a tragedy with a foul in the 8 ball. We had Stubb getting really lucky, rolling into a hook against Bedhead. And the final act decider. He certainly didn't play it.
The sad thing last night for Spectre Dawn was he was up 12-11 and shooting a 9 ball and he dogged it.
Yeah.
I mean, he had a shot to win the match. I mean, to be fair, it wasn't a gimme 9 ball, but it wasn't one that I expected him to miss.
Yeah, well, Spectre Dawn's got a couple of scabs to recover from. Now, Semi back in the lead, just come up dry.
This is a kind of a shitty situation because he can't see enough of a 1 ball to bank this. The 6 is in the way. So I would probably push out here and push to the bank. That's what I would do here because it's a tricky shot to bank that and get the cue ball back down table. I would not go push to this end. That I don't like. There's too much you can do because the 8 ball's there, you know, where you are hitting the 1 into the 8 to control it. I'd probably just hit this with inside and try to put it behind the 5.
Yeah.
The 1 ball's not going to go anywhere.
He's got to be careful with this, so because he could. Yeah, he's hitting it soft. Yeah, I think the only danger with the shot with the left English is coming this way too heavy and bouncing into the gap. The 8 ball going out the way and leaving the cut in the 1. So he wasn't going to fall into that trap.
Yeah, you're right here.
You really need to have hit that bad for that to happen. But,
well, I'm a little surprised there. I'm surprised he didn't try to shoot that bank.
And
well, he doesn't have the angle to play the kill safe.
Yeah. And this looks a good line. If it just tweaks off the rail, that'll do nicely, I think. But it's still not tight.
Well, but that's a good shot. That was the right way to shoot that. The kill safe wasn't there. He was going to have to hit it thin there, and
the 5 takes out any semblance of a jump.
He's doing a jump kick here.
Can jump that way, yeah.
I mean, if you got your opponent doing a jump kick, it's a pretty good save.
So, the ugly ball is that 8 ball. Considering where the 7 ball is, you've got to play a good shot to get nice on that 8.
I think he got to the rail there, didn't he?
Yeah.
Didn't the cue ball hit the rail? Yeah. I thought the cue ball hit the rail.
Now,
All right. Well, he's got a nice angle here. He can run down and get the 2.
So, well, this is an important visit here for Semi to get a 2-rack lead.
Well, this is just soft off the 9, just like that. And he's got to decide whether he's playing shape for the side or for the corner.
Well, I think he's got to stun across and play it in the corner.
That's what I would do.
Oh, he's going the other way.
He's gone the other way. You know, he just let it run and made sure he got out of there. He's actually a little funny here now. He's got to decide what he's going to do. I mean,
maybe his plan was what Mal's talking about. He's hoping to get maybe good on that 4 to get a bump in the 8 and still have a shot in the 5.
This is a little tricky. He's got to decide. You know, he can just, yeah, he's going this way, and that's the problem with going that way. Is a 9 ball. He was trying to hit that thinner than that. I think he got away with it.
Well,
I don't think he was trying to hit the 9 ball, or, you know, maybe he was and he knew he was going to hit it pretty thin.
Well, here's the crucial shots coming up on this rack to get good on this 8.
Well, I mean, this is pretty simple from here. I mean, all he needs to do is get the cue ball back in the middle of the table anywhere. He's just going to roll it and roll this, and I mean, it's hard to screw this up.
And that's what he wants, as close as he can get. And that'll do it. As close and as straight as he can get. Make it simple. Well, now, that window of daylight, he's looking to build on it to the finishing line.
Well, I mean, that really hurt losing the game before that Slim lost, and that rack did not come apart good.
Same again. Oh, this is going to split them.
But that's why you don't want, you know, to have a close game at the end, because stuff like that's going to happen.
Now that's 7. Let's have a look. I don't think it goes.
Luckily for Slim, all he's got to do is make this, because the shape's automatic. All he's got to do is roll it at the right speed. But, I mean, visually, it's still a little disconcerting being up over a ball like this.
Yeah, these are always horrible.
Well, you think they're horrible in VP. Try in real life.
Yeah, they're horrible. They're horrible either way.
I shoot these pretty well in real life. But when they get to that distance, you know, they get a lot harder because visually you're having to look up so far from the cue ball. When the cue ball is closer to the object ball, they're a lot easier.
Well, is SemiPro gonna go hell for leather here?
Oh, I'd be playing safe here for sure. I mean, you can try to put him on the 4. SemiPro's just going to shoot it.
And he's got the 2, and he's heading the right direction. Yeah, he's heading the right direction. Well, not if he does that.
Well,
he had to get into that a bit more to avoid the cannon in those 2. He stunned it heavier.
He needed to do a little stun run there. He needed to jack up the butt a little and hit it so that it widened out, and he didn't do it.
Well, that,
and honestly, as good as he plays, he knows that. He knows, you know, that's, I'll tell you, I can almost guarantee you that's a situation where he's hoping that thing gets out there. Where he really knows in his gut that he's not shooting the right shot, but he shoots it anyways. He's hoping it gets out there, and you know,
well,
I mean, we've all done that.
He's got to play the little dink and lock it behind the 7. He's got to miss the 5 though, and that isn't locked.
No, it's not locked.
That's not bad.
Yeah, he's got a kick off the side rail here.
Now, a good chance if he's got the angle to get that kick that this 8 ball could go in.
Yep.
Very strong chance that'll happen.
You want to play this as a 2-rail kick. If you get a 1-rail, fine. Well, he can hit it pretty good, but you know he's gonna.
Yeah, he's left
come
it.
out.
He's left it.
Did he leave it?
Yeah.
Well, it wasn't a bad play. I mean, that's hard to be super accurate there.
Yeah, that's terminology you don't hear very much in pool, Mal. but you're correct in making that statement. You need to give it a little poke. Just to get that to kill on the 7. Well, this is a little dinky one as well. Wants to keep the 4 ball there so he can get to the 5.
Yeah, this is a kill shot.
And that'll do it. That will do it.
Yeah,
I mean, this is just
backspin on it to kill it.
I think
and that's a shot
roll.
that a lot of people in VP don't shoot enough. That kill shot, control the speed of the cue ball.
Just a little roll out to get that angle again. It's all about angles. I mean, every game is all about angles, one way or another. And
well, you got to give Slim some credit here. He's played a good match. This match could go down to the very end.
Oh, I think it's looking as if it's going all the way.
Yeah,
we're getting our money's worth, even though we didn't pay an entry fee. Well, this is a really, really important break now for Slim. Just to cement that little comeback, he's got to follow it up. And if he can't, he's got to get wise. And I don't think he's getting any joy. And I'll tell you something else. That little brush with a 6 onto that cue ball has made it a little bit nicer. And less of a cut on this one to get Semi started here.
Well, Semi's got to decide whether he's going back and forth or, which side, or whether he's going to come back with this. I think he'll go back and forth. Yeah, he's going into the gap here.
Hang on. I think he's done for. Can he get that? Can he get enough of it?
I don't think so. Even if throwing this, maybe if he throws it with left English, he can get it to go in.
Well,
he can shoot off the 4 ball, but that's a hard shot. He's shooting like he can see it.
No doubt at all. That was well
I don't
played.
know what it is on VP, but I never seem to be able to see those.
Well, that's exactly my problem. I didn't think he got enough of that.
Yeah,
he got it clean.
He knew he could. I mean, he didn't even have to throw it. It went in.
Well, this is... well, he's gone dead straight now. He's going to have to come back.
Yeah, not really where he want to be, but he's okay.
And got the stun draw working there.
Yeah, you gotta be a little careful here about how you rub this 6. You don't want to, you got to decide whether you're gonna. He's just gonna say I'm not gonna rub it at all. Although that's a little funny, but he's still fine. I mean, he's just going to draw this back.
Going to end up over there, I think, somewhere like that.
He should be fine here. Let's just draw it back. Just make the ball.
Oh, he's missed the donut. Disaster.
Well,
bit straight, maybe.
Yeah, this you just don't want to underhit. You got to get by the 9 ball, and that's perfect.
Yeah. Well, the match is more or less in his hands here.
Well, anything can happen at this point, but you got to like Semi's chances.
His chances are
looking good.
15. Oh no, he's still 2 away yet.
No, he's 1 away. Right?
No, it's 19.
Oh, no, he's 2 away. I can't count.
No,
my bad.
You can't get here in time, so you can't read the clock. Then you know you can't get.
Hey, I could do some calculus in the algebra problem and do it all perfect, and I'll get the sign wrong. Well, he can try to stick him here on the 5 ball. He can push out here too. I mean, you can push the cue ball down by the 2. There's no.
Was he trying to tuck the one behind the 5? I think he's trying to tuck the one behind the 5 and just duck.
Oh, you could see the edge of it. Yeah, I didn't realize you could see the edge of that. Well, unfortunately, he didn't get safe though.
Yeah, he hasn't got it covered. Well, Slim, if you're going to dish up, now's the time.
I thought he could have pushed the cue ball down by the 2, and the shot to stick the cue ball against the 1 was going to be difficult to impossible at that distance. If you got the cue ball right on top of the 2 or the rail, it's probably impossible. And even if you left a little room, you were going to have to hit it hard enough you wouldn't stop the 1 ball. I think you should have pushed out to where the 2 ball was.
Well, how many times do I say it? They're all there. No way he shouldn't be getting out here. No way whatsoever. It's going to be a major fail if he can't.
Watch out.
Oh, I think I'm cursing players as soon as I open my mouth.
That was a little close.
Almost done him there.
Yeah, and one thing about Slim is he's looked real solid in these matches where, you know, he had to get out. He's been playing a very consistent speed. You know, he's playing pretty good safeties most of the time. He's running out most of the time.
Well, I just like the fact he hasn't said one word in the room other than good luck. He's totally focused.
Well, that's always a good idea. Don't listen to the stream. Don't talk in the room.
He's missed the 9, just.
Yeah.
Well, this looks so easy to get in the 9.
Nobody said anything when I said Slim was most improved. Don't you guys think Slim is the one that's improved the most in the last 6 months?
Well, I think the way he's improved is he's not been quite so flashy, if you know what I mean, going for things he shouldn't be going for. He's been a lot more measured and controlled. And of course he's been potting a lot more balls. And that's always good. Well, he's got another very important
These guys aren't
break.
going to say anything.
No,
They're
sitting,
thinking,
they're sitting
he
the
sucks,
fence.
or I'm not complimenting anybody.
He ain't getting any joy, he's dry, and he's left a 1 on.
Oh, boy.
Well, he's left a 1-3 combo, I think.
Yeah, and you know, that's not a guaranteed combo, but it's not one I'd expect him to miss.
Well, there's his lifeline there, but no.
You know, it's just these shots, you know, and it's coming down. This kind of shot, when it's coming down to it, can be a little bit scary. Well, he was able to go behind it. He didn't even need to shoot the combo.
Well, the other thing in Semi's favour here is the 5 ball is handy to cut it in and get a bump on the 8 and 6, because the 6 isn't going anywhere.
Yeah, it would be nice to bump it now, to be honest with
yeah.
you. You just got to be careful because of the scratch.
You could also end up hooked behind the 4. So I think that was wise avoiding that. I think it's a lot easier to get good in the 5 to bump the 6 and hope you get a nice little roll then.
Yeah, that's one of those shots where, you know, you need to hit that 8-6 right. You need to be more on top of the 8. If you get on the bottom side of the 8, you might come up with a shot, but I think you need to hit the 8 a little more on top and shove the 6 towards the pocket.
Well, here we go. Here we go. Make it right.
The way this is sitting, this is almost just a teeny bit of right English, and he should hit it perfect.
Uh-oh. Well, Slim's going to have to do the same thing.
Well, that was thinking so much about the breakout that you completely missed the ball.
Well, if I'm Slim and I'm playing this, I'm cutting this with English to make sure that I get to this rail first, rather than trying to come across and hit them clean, because you could easily do what Semi's done and miss them. Hang on a minute.
He's going to play safe.
Well,
he's playing safe.
He's going to nail it.
Yeah. He's going to have to come back off the end rail, but
I don't think
he's going to lock him on this 8 ball.
That's a foul. Oh. That's a foul. Oh, dear.
Okay, so...
Oh, dear.
This is why you want to come back off the 8, the end rail, because he was trying to hit it without coming back off the end rail, and that's why he hit the 8 ball.
Oh, that's a major disaster there for Slim.
Yeah.
He showed out.
You just got to be confident that you can hit that with a little stun and a little left English and come off the end rail and put it on the 8. You know, it's...
He's not getting another shot now. He's played his last shot. That 1 ball's in play. Ball's in the break.
that whole thing's from being under pressure and not being confident to shoot the shot that was the shot to shoot. And instead, he tried to do something he shouldn't have.
Well, we've had another disastrous end for one player because this is over and out as far as I can see.
But that's what's great about these, these matches when you're getting under pressure and you start feeling some heat. I mean, that's the whole challenge in playing in these things.
It's not quite over yet. He's got to execute the shot here.
Well, I mean, this is a pretty standard shot. I mean, it's just draw, bottom, right English. I would expect he's going to just throat this.
Yeah, well, there you go.
Expect in one hand and spit in the other and see which one fills up faster.
And Slim, well, the 4 ball goes, so there isn't a problem with the 4. It's how good he is in the 3 to make it comfortable for the 4, and that's good enough.
Yeah, well, honestly, I don't think SemiPro should miss that shot too often. I mean, at least it wasn't missed by a mile, but still, I mean, that's a shot I expected him to make.
Well, that it wasn't a gimme, but you've also got the context of the match as well.
It wasn't a gimme. I mean, Shane would have missed that ball once in a great while, but not too often, and probably not in a tight match like this. You just don't see it very much out of those kind of players.
Well, this is the most important break of the match, and it's the last most important one. More especially if you're Slim. You want to take it hill all the way, and he needs a good break and a shot. And if he doesn't get a shot, he needs to use the head. Yeah, Bill, it's not looking too bad.
Yeah, it's looking really good right now. But, I mean, Slim could ruin that all just by breaking and running out. He's got a ball down.
6 balls are going to go.
And he's got a good table.
Well, he's ugly. He's ugly with the cue ball, though. But he should get this.
All he's got to do is roll this. I mean, he did have trouble with the shot before, but the 1 ball was a long ways away. Having the 1 ball close makes this a lot easier.
Yeah, this is just dead weight, so the cue ball doesn't leak away too far, because he can't do anything with the cue ball to hold it. He just has to let it run out.
Now, I've told you guys this before. The way I aim, I need to look at the whole ball. So what I do in this situation is I pretend I've got X-ray vision and I can see that whole cue ball.
Right.
And if you have trouble with these shots, you should try that. Same thing when you're against the rail.
Right.
Just pretend you can see the whole ball.
I'm wondering what he was looking at there. He's not. It looks like he's overcutting this. No, that's fine. Yeah, he's found it sweet.
Perfecto.
He's over the 9 though now.
Yeah, well, and
but he should be fine. Just bounce to the railing out.
This don't put any English on it.
Just straight to the railing out.
That makes it a lot harder when you're up over a ball. Yeah, that's perfect. So it's looking like it's going to be hill here.
Well, I said that earlier on, didn't I? I said it looks as if it could go hill. There's my prediction coming true. Mind you, if I say that in every match, I've always got a long odds chance of getting that. It's not done yet, though. Still got to do it. And again, you don't want to be messing with that 9 ball. You want to be well away from that. He's got to watch the right side pocket if he's going to go that direction. No, he just went the safest route. I like that idea.
Slim's played a hell of a match here. He's played very well. He deserves to be in this position.
Well, this is nervy, because, I mean, again, it's straightforward. A pot, and you're on in the 9. You don't need to think about the cue ball.
Yeah, well, I mean, at this point, it's just, it's just controlling your emotions and nerves, not letting that get to you. Slow the heartbeat down, take a deep breath, and...
Here we go. Good luck to both players.
Big advantage to be the breaker here.
Oh,
He's got a ball down.
1 ball's going up behind the 4. 1 ball's going up behind the 4. And has he got enough of it to do anything? I don't think.
I don't think so. So,
this.
Now he can he could push to the end rail and leave a thin piece of this one. That's one option.
Well, you mean this side where my donut is? Same side, like here?
Down towards the other side from the 2-ball. Just push down and leave a little edge of the 1. That's probably what I would do here.
It's not at the 50-yard line. That'd be cut in. I wouldn't do that side. I'd be going...
I'm talking about the opposite side of the 2. The 8-ball's in the way. You can't cut that in.
Right, so you're talking about down where I had the donut, down here.
I couldn't see the donut.
Yeah, there, on the first diamond, on the left-hand side.
That's not a terrible push. This is not a guaranteed situation. But you hate to give it back to the guy. This is actually a pretty good push because you don't really want to give this back to him.
Well,
but
Slim's got it back.
Safety is, yeah. Well, I mean, he gave it back because he's looking at us going, "What am I going to do?" I probably would have gave this back too. You hate to give it back in this situation, but it's like, there's a safety here where you could thin the 1, come off the 4, and take the cue ball over there towards the corner pocket. That's a risky safe and not a particularly shot you want to shoot. He can thin it the other way and try to bring the cue ball around, but this is tough.
He's got to watch traffic here. He's got to watch traffic.
Well, he thinned it the other way, and he came out pretty good, really. This is, if you're gonna, for what that shot was and what he had, this is about this is a pretty good result.
I never saw that as a safety.
Well, he was trying to run the cue ball around the table. He hit the 1 too thick, and this is too hard.
Well,
that's just bad speed there.
Well, of course, Stubb would go for the cut, and he would risk bouncing into the 7 and getting lucky to get on the 2 here.
Yeah, it was the 7. Yeah, it's pretty tight on the 7.
Is he going to catch any of it? You might miss it looking at it.
The safety isn't super easy. You can bank this behind the 8, but there's a good chance you're going to leave that 1 ball and then be in trouble because then the other guy does have safety options. I might shoot this. This is not a great situation to play safe in.
He's overdone it. And it needs to go by the side pocket.
Okay, well,
I think he's going to go for the combo. I mean, this is a good opportunity for a combo.
Well, he's got an easy safe to use the 9 ball. Thin this 1 and take the cue ball across.
Yeah, he's going all out. All out.
He's going all out, but he didn't get that great. I think he's okay, though. Just got to figure out how to come up with a shot back and forth. He did not want to hit the 9 ball.
Where's the 4 ball? And now it's up in the air if you can get on this 3 with a jump.
You had to shoot that shot in a way you weren't going to hit the 9 ball. Because you could go back and forth without hitting a 9 and come up with a shot. That was the one thing you didn't want to do. Hang on.
Oh dear, yeah. And it's another disastrous end to a match, for goodness sake. You could not write the script.
Oh man.
You couldn't write the script.
He was fighting for it, but
that's good enough.
I'm not sure why he ended up hitting a 9 ball, but I can't believe he was trying to. I'm sure he must have been trying to go back and forth without hitting it.
Well, I hate to say this, but the guys that left this tournament, somebody's going to end up in some sort of disaster and go to the 1 loss side or go out of the tournament, because that's what's happened in the last 3 matches.
He's left this funny. I mean, he definitely wanted to get on the other side of that line.
He is the wrong side. Now, you can juice this up and get to the bottom wheel and spin it up the table if you're brave enough. Yeah. He's going big inside and leaving it.
He's just going to roll this and leave the cut.
He couldn't have left it much worse.
Well, this is the kind of ball that's easy to hang.
Yeah, well, this is horrible.
And unfortunately, the natural line is coming back towards this 9 ball, which could make it hard to get on the 8 very well.
Another twist coming. Is that? I can't stand this.
Actually, the natural line should come thin of the 9 ball. But you could still hit it here, depending on how you hit the 5. You hit the 5 a little thick, I think you can run into the 9.
Oh dear. Oh, he's got it. He's got it.
He controlled the
He has
speed
got it.
beautifully there.
Well, I think we can say that was not bad to watch.
Well, it's a great match.
Oh.
I mean, you got to feel for Semi, but
yeah,
I mean, he just needs to go back and watch the match and see the mistakes he made and learn from it.
He's hurting.
You gotta congratulate Slim because he played a great match.
Yeah, I think he was totally focused on the job at hand. Give him credit for that, and he held his nerve at the vital time there. But it's a horrible finish again. So 19 racks to 18.
We've had a bunch of those, haven't we? Well, Semi is still in the tournament.
Yeah,
we could go look at the brackets and see where he is.
Well, he's going to have to maybe contend with Stubb, depending on what happens. But anyway,
that'll be fun. That's a blood match.
We've got OnePocketSlim through to the hot seat.
Good playing, Slim.
And we have where's
who's Slim playing next? Who'd you say Slim's going to play?
He's waiting on the winner of Larry and Cobra for the hot seat.
Okay. Well, that'll be a good match, Larry and Cobra. And where's click on it so you just go to the other one. Well, you do things the hard way.
I've done it. I'm ahead of you. There he is there. He's waiting on the winner of Bill and Stubb. That's where he is in the bracket there.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's hard to say who's going to win between Bill and Stubb. I mean, I think it's going to be another good match.
Right, let's have a look at the stats. SemiPro, take one away. There we go. And One Pocket Slim, take one away. There we are, and go. Right, let's have a look. SemiPro slightly better with balls pocketed per turn, but again, that's
guys play safe.
Not the most important one.
Yeah.
Racks run out from the break was what, 2 apiece.
Yeah, and that's sort of telling. I mean, SemiPro should be higher than that. Now the break percentage, SemiPro definitely broke better than Slim. I mean, 72 is a pretty good number, and 52 is not a very good number.
And Racks ran for Slim 4, 6 for Semi. Racks high run was just 1, and 100% for the money balls. So,
and really, I think that's telling because I think Semi, you would expect him to have more racks run than that.
So all that we've got left now is we've got Larry against Cobra on Tuesday evening, UK time, British summer time, and that's at 6:30, which is 1:30 Eastern.
Well, I would expect that Bill and Stubb are going to be playing here pretty soon. If not today, tomorrow.
Well, he's got to show up, hasn't he? Yeah, well done, Slim. Another horrible end to a match, the way it turned out. Not if you're the winner, it doesn't matter, but that was unlucky.
Somebody's always happy.
Yes, Semi's a bit gutted, but as I say, he's not out of the tournament, and he's got to do it the hard way, as you have to do in these tournaments. And it's going to be race to 13 in that one-loss side, so you've got to get really into it straight away. That's the other thing about the one-loss side. You've no time to hang around. So, I hope you all enjoyed it, guys. Unless Steve's got anything else to say, I'm going to let everybody go. And hopefully you can join us on Tuesday.
I'm just... I hope everybody's having a good time watching these matches, because this has been something else, this World Championship. We've had a lot of very tight matches.
Well, look on the bright side, it can only get better.
There's a lot of good stuff coming up. We've got, I don't know whether I want to win between Bill and Stubb, because on one hand, if stub wins. Nobody wants him to, and SemiPro and him don't get along. It'll be a blood match, so that'd be great to see. But on the other hand, you got to root for Bill. I mean, everybody's going to be rooting for Bill, so it's hard not to root for him.
Let's just throw a little spanner into the works here. Don't forget, there's a match between Albinario and Nick to look forward to.
Yeah, and that's going to be a hell of a match.
That's going to be very interesting to see how, because as Steve said, Albinario has not played at his best in this tournament. He's going to have to go the hard way, and he's up against a relatively unknown foe who's been playing pretty solid in the one-loss side since his defeat from Semi in the winner's side. So
yeah, well, he played pretty good in the semi match, but I think he has been playing better so far in the one loss.
So that is going to be a great match to look forward to as well. So everything's a good match now. There's not a dud match left now. This is at business end of the tournament. Every guy's in with a chance. Some will get better chances than others, obviously, if you can get straight through to that hot seat and get to the final. But who is it going to be? Nobody knows. That's the great thing about it. So I've enjoyed it. That was well worth the watch. And anybody that's missed it or anybody asks you about it, tell them they can go to my YouTube channel. They'll be able to watch it and catch up on any other matches they might have missed. So thanks to Steve for joining us again. Hope you can all join us on Tuesday. I'll be there. And until we meet again, I will bid you good evening and take care. We'll see you again. Thanks again.
Good evening, guys.
See you later.
Bye.